everyone. Welcome to another special segment of Science and Technology Through Time. Today, we're diving into a fascinating journey through the historical background of science and technology in the Philippines, from pre-Spanish period to American era. I am Norin May Nabas,
Ben A. Morilao,
Crystal Jade S. Molina,
Ford E. Monteza.
Elijah Jane Ayon Tanillas,
I am Lloyd Brian Nanas.
and today we will explore the milestones and innovations that shape our nation's scientific and technological landscapes. Okay, let's begin. Today we will explore the pre-Spanish period, the highlight of their works which is the Banawe rice terraces, medicine and engineering, and the overall impact of Spanish.
kick things off by traveling way back in time around 48,000 BC, when the first modern humans arrived in the Philippines. These early Filipinos didn't have written records, so we rely on archaeological findings to understand their lives. They were already using stone tools such as flint and bones, and later developed skills such as sewing and polishing stones. This advancement laid the foundation for what would come later.
Around 3000 BC, the Filipinos began to create more sophisticated tools and artifacts. They made adzes for woodworking, ornamental jewelry from seashells, and pottery. They were even mining copper, gold, and iron during what we call the Iron Age. From about the 3rd century BC to the 11th century AD, this was a time when Filipinos were also developing expertise in agriculture, weaving, and shipbuilding.
The most impressive feats of engineering from this period is the Banawe rice terraces in Ifugao. It's often called East Wonder of the World because it was built without modern machinery. These terraces reflect the Filipinos' deep understanding from the environment, water management, and agricultural practices. And let's not forget, trade was already flourishing. Filipinos were trading with neighboring nations like China and Vietnam long before and the Spanish arrived.
Now, fast forward to the Spanish colonial period, the Spaniards brought significant change to science and technology in the Philippines. In 1565, they introduced formal education and many parish schools were established to teach subjects like reading, writing, and arithmetic. Over time, the Spanish set up the universities, including the University of Santo Tomas, which is the oldest in Asia.
During the Spanish period, medicine saw substantial progress. Spanish doctors and botanists focused on identifying plants with curative properties. Engineering also made significant strides as the Spaniards constructed roads, bridges, forts, and churches across the country. Despite these advancements, the galleon trade became the main focus of Spain's economy in the Philippines, which meant that agriculture and industrial development were somewhat neglected.
Although the Spanish did bring education, they also had a heavy influence on the local economy and culture. Despite this, early Filipinos were not without their own science and technology practices. They had a written alphabet, an understanding of time based on lunar cycles, and an indigenous measurement system. The Spanish might have introduced formal education, but they were also learning from rich local practices.
Bong Revilla po, number 16 sa balota.
Now, let's move forward to the era of Americans. In this era, we will focus on agriculture, science development, Thomasites and education, summary and conclusion of American era.
Let's talk about the American period, which started in 1898. These Americans didn't just take over, they also introduced new systems and institutions. For example, the Bureau of Government Laboratories was created in 1901 to study tropical diseases, and by 1905, the Bureau of Sciences became the country's primary research institution.
Science under the Americans focused heavily on agriculture, food processing, and medicine. They also expanded the educational system with subjects like agriculture, mechanical drawing, but industrial technology didn't receive much attention, partly because the free trade policy with the US made the economy more agriculture-based.
In 1958, during the presidency of Carlos P. Garcia, the Philippine Congress passed the Science Act, which created the National Science Development Board. This was a major turning point of science in the country. However, the country still faced challenges like a lack of funding, basic information, and research support.
Let's also remember the Thomasites, a group of American educators who came to the Philippines in 1901. They weren't just teachers, they were part of a large effort to assimilate Filipino into American culture. They taught subjects like English, math, and trade course, and their influence played a huge role in shaping the modern education system in the Philippines.
To sum it up, the American period set the stage for the future of science and technology in the Philippines, though it was still focused on agriculture. Despite these challenges, new institutions were established and education expanded, especially in subjects relevant to the nation's economic needs at the time.
And there you have it, a brief journey through the history of science and technology in the Philippines, from the early use of stone tools in the pre-Spanish period to the introduction of formal education and scientific institutions during the Spanish and American periods. The Philippines has a rich history of adapting and advancing in the fields of science and technology. Thank you to my wonderful co-hosts, Mr. Beethoven, Miss Christelle Jade, Mr. Jayford, Miss Elijah, and Mr. Lloyd Bryan for sharing their insights. We hope you've enjoyed today's segment. Until next time, keep exploring in history and innovation that shapes our world.